I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person, you know? And my kid has to feed her family, you know? And my great-granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there, but I also know that there are a lot of things that we just said, no, I'm just going to go this way.
Right. And that she has no choice but to, you know, really pick herself up every day and just head over to work. And it's like a lot of manual labor. Like the way she carried herself in that segment was ridiculous.
We're about to enter a thrilling moment from The View, so buckle up, everyone. Ana Kasparian did not hold back in her response to a recent post by Whoopi Goldberg that sparked a lot of conversation. She openly challenged Whoopi's perspective, expressing doubts about how well her stance aligned with the realities that many Americans face. Given the soaring cost of living, the record-high credit card debt, and the millions of individuals facing financial troubles, it is hardly surprised that Ana felt forced to speak up. Many viewers believe that celebrities and the problems faced by regular people are usually kept apart. Thus, in this video, we will analyze the subject, the contrasting viewpoints, and the importance of such disagreements. Stay still because you won't want to miss this one. Let's begin.
Millions and millions of people that felt heard. And that's what I'm trying to lock into. It won't change my stance, or maybe it will. I'm open to someone trying to convince me.
That Donald Trump is good for people?
If that's what you're hearing, you're missing my whole point.
I am.
I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living.
Congratulations.
Do you? All right. Well, the ladies of The View are still trying to figure out what went wrong in the presidential election, with some still rejecting the idea that Democrats abandoning working class Americans certainly did not help their cause. Definitely hurt them in this election. What's even more interesting is how Whoopi Goldberg, someone who is worth tens of millions of dollars, views herself as a working class American. Let's take a look.
I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person, you know? And my kid has to feed her family, you know? And my great-granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there, but I also know that there are a lot of things that we just said, no, I'm just going to go this way.
Right.
And a lot of that is also what happened. I love what she did. Yay. You know, we talk to people all the time who say, this is what's bothering me. But the thing that's bothering everybody should not be the thing that puts 85% of other people in danger.
Yeah.
What is she talking about?
I think that's what we're saying.
I think the 60% of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck already feel that they have been.
One of the primary points of debate in this essay is Whoopi Goldberg's recent comments regarding her identification as a working-class American. I am aware of the hardships faced by regular Americans because I had a job and a family to support, Goldberg said in an interview on The View. Ana Kasparian and other analysts, however, strongly disagree with this definition, arguing that it does not adequately convey Goldberg's financial reality. Critics argue that because of her reported multi-million-dollar contracts, lavish houses, and lengthy career in the entertainment industry, Goldberg's portrayal of herself as financially fragile may not resonate with people who are truly facing financial troubles. Kasparian emphasizes that Goldberg should be more transparent about her wealth and position rather than presenting herself as empathetic to Americans who are struggling. The View as a platform is also attacked for what some perceive to be a lack of diversity of opinion and open discourse. According to Kasparian and others, the show usually reinforces specific ideological positions rather than promoting broad, unfettered discussions. Many argue that arguments are often restricted and that there are few opposing viewpoints, despite The View's portrayal as a platform for free discussion. This raises the question of whether the program genuinely discusses various viewpoints or if it primarily serves as a platform for advancing a particular narrative.
So, but she knows, Anna.
Right,
she knows.
right.
Now, look, does she work for a living? Yeah, she does. She's a talk show host. working for a living.
Super hard work.
Okay, that's what we do. And by the way, sometimes it is hard work.
No, it is hard work. Okay, we don't just come on the show and like talk out of our asses. Like
now she has like 100 producers and one of 5 hosts. Like I've done that kind of show before, and it's super easy. But anyway, but I'm not taking that away from her. My point is, Whoopi, you can't say like you work for a living and then I know your pain, etc., as if you're a person who isn't spectacularly wealthy. You have to at least acknowledge, look guys, I get it. I'm wealthy and I used to be poor, but I haven't been poor in a long, long time. But here's the ways that I could relate. Just be honest about it, no problem, right? But when you make it seem like you're barely getting by and you're worried about feeding your grandkids.
Come on.
Come on.
No, she made it seem like she's struggling and that she has no choice but to, really pick herself up every day and just head over to work, and it's like a lot of manual labor. Like the way she carried herself in that segment was ridiculous. And look, we don't know exactly how much she's worth. I wanna be clear about that. There are some articles that keep citing celebrity net worth, which makes me wanna pull my hair out of my head.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Guys, that's based on nothing. Like people who believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a private citizen. She's not a public employee. So her earnings are not public information, but we can put some bits and pieces of what's been reported in the past together to figure out she's not a working class American, okay? So Goldberg was able to negotiate a salary for Sister Act 2 back in the habit between an estimated $7 million and $12 million, making Goldberg the highest paid actress in Hollywood at the time. In 2007, she joined The View as moderator and panelist alongside creator Barbara Walters, Joy Behar, Sherry Shepard, and Elizabeth Hasselbeck. In a 2016 report from Variety, Goldberg's one-year contract was estimated to be worth between $5 million and $6 million.
Yeah, you work for a living, but you're not a working class American. There's a difference.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just, look, my point is, you don't understand what it's like to be a struggling American who's concerned about their financial stability. You get what I'm saying? Like
100%. No, look, we've covered The View a lot, unfortunately. And so the two things she said are just not remotely true. Which she's, about being a working class American. She said, me too. I guess maybe that's the new Me Too movement for rich people on TV. Look, working class, me too, me too. Come on, guys, come on. It insults our intelligence, right? But the second thing she said near the end there, if I understood it right, was she was saying, well, we talk to people all the time that disagree. Do you? I mean, I get it that you have you have the former Trump people, etc. But there are now never Trumpers have flipped and are on your side, and they gently bring up some points that other people might be thinking, etc. And then everybody yells, etc. But
Kasparian also highlights the stark contrast between Whoopi Goldberg's extravagant lifestyle and the financial hardships faced by millions of Americans. She points to the clear indicators of a struggling working class, which differs greatly from the experiences of media elites. These indicators include increased credit card delinquencies, growing consumer debt, and stagnant earnings. Kasparian argues that more than Goldberg's financial success in and of itself, the frustration stems from the failure to acknowledge this economic injustice. Many Americans are having financial difficulties these days, and they often use credit and loans to pay for necessities. According to Kasparian, it can come out as unrealistic when well-known individuals discuss financial difficulties without recognizing their fortunate position. She argues that if the language of hardship is used without experiencing it, it may minimize the real struggles that everyday people have. The discussion expands on this critique by examining a broader issue with the media and political establishment. According to this perspective, many well-known media figures come from affluent backgrounds, regularly attend Ivy League schools, and have lifetime financial security. According to critics, this could lead to a limited viewpoint that shapes how issues are covered, prioritizing topics that appeal to elite circles above the pressing economic issues that the great majority of Americans face.
Do you accept criticism within the Democratic Party, let's say from progressives or populists?
Oh, definitely not.
Oh my God,
definitely
no way.
Not. Yeah.
Like they're famous for telling everyone in the Democratic Party, shut up and accept Biden, accept Kamala Harris, accept Hillary Clinton, bow your head. That's mainly what The View does. So that's why it insults our intelligence and it's just offensive, but forget offensive, it's annoying for her to say like, oh, we talk to people all the time. We're so open-minded. Come on,
Look,
Whoopi.
In fact, we hadn't been covering The View all that much prior to the election because it got boring. It seemed like they mostly agreed on everything. But it is interesting to see how conflict has increased on that show following the outcome of the election, because Sunny Hostin especially does not want to accept that Democrats lost due to the fact that they have abandoned the working class. She's like totally in la la land about it, and so is Whoopi Goldberg, but Sunny Hostin's on another level, okay? But anyway, putting that aside, I'm gonna just give you a little more information because I want to juxtapose the kind of life Whoopi Goldberg lives and what average Americans are struggling with right now. So let's go to graphic 4 here. After landing her gig on The View, Goldberg relocated back to New York City, where she bought a full floor loft in Soho for $4 million.
Me too, she knows.
Right,
she knows the working
right.
class.
She sold the 2-bedroom apartment in 2010 during the economic crash, of course, for just under $3 million, so she lost there. But in a search for more privacy, she moved to the New Jersey suburbs, purchasing a $2.8 million mansion in the gated community. Okay, so that's
in New Jersey, $2.8 million will buy you a castle.
Okay, so that's the kind of life she's lived and has been living. In the meantime, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York just came out with new data in regard to consumer debt, which is at an all-time high of $17.9 trillion, okay? Credit card balances increased by $24 billion to $1.17 trillion as a record 600 million accounts are now open. Auto loan balances rose $18 billion to $1.64 trillion. Further, student loan balances grew by $21 billion to a record $1.61 trillion. And look, people are taking out lines of credit. They're maxing out their credit cards because they are struggling, okay? And since wages aren't keeping up with inflation, that is also leading to delinquencies. So let's look at that. Delinquency rates have also edged up from the previous quarter. About 126,000 consumers had a bankruptcy notation added to their credit reports in the third quarter, just the third quarter alone. Overall, 3.5% of outstanding debt was in some stage of delinquency, up from 3.2% in the second quarter. So look, I give you guys that data because no, you're not in the same camp as the people who are frustrated and angry about the fact that they see less and less opportunity to build wealth in this country, and even worse, less and less opportunity to stay afloat when it comes to their personal finances.
So let me add one last thing.
At its core, this complaint is not about success or wealth in general, but rather about the lack of transparency and authenticity among media figures. According to Kasparian and her fellow analysts, broadcasters like Whoopi Goldberg would do more to help the public by being honest about their financial stability than by depicting themselves as struggling with ordinary Americans. Additionally, they call for a shift in focus away from performative identity politics and toward more pressing issues like debt, healthcare, wages, and economic opportunity in general. They contend that addressing these urgent challenges is the only way for media celebrities to begin to bridge the widening gap between themselves and the working-class Americans they claim to understand. In the end, this transcends a one Whoopi Goldberg scandal or questionable Whoopi Goldberg moment. It reflects a broader media trend in which celebrities depict themselves as representatives of the working class despite having lives far different from those of individuals who struggle financially on a daily basis. As Ana Kasparian put out quite simply, these media elites are not faced with the everyday struggles of making ends meet, stagnant salaries, or mounting debt. Their assertions of relatability are not only misleading, but also frustrating to those who actually live that reality. People are waking up now. They are tired of being talked down to by multimillionaires who haven't lived paycheck to paycheck for years. Real conversations are required, facilitated by people who aren't afraid to challenge conventional thought and stand up for the rights of average Americans. That's exactly what we're doing here. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts if you agree with me. I will see you at the next one.